Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and we are going to be filming a video today on how to make a Christmas tree pin or ornament. As you can see, this is going to be the make and take kit that you will be able to pick up at the reference desk on the second floor, the Crawfordsville Library, while supplies last. You will be able to make a Christmas tree ornament like this. Now the star buttons that we have on order are slightly different. They're like a bead thing. This is from my personal button box that I have. You can see here's the ornament. The only difference between that and the pin is that you will omit the chain 20 for the loop at the top, and instead you will be sewing a pin back onto the back, and that is included in your kit. Here's the pin back, and you'll just sew that onto the back right here. Everything is included in the kit. The pattern instruction sheet. It will include the video link. Once I get the video filmed and posted on Facebook, I will go back and edit the link in here. The instructions are included for both the pin and the ornament. They are actually the same size. I had to make the picture of the ornament slightly smaller to fit the loop. Instructions are continued on back. At the end, it asks you to please return the needles and the crochet hook to the reference desk so we can use them in future take and makes. So here's the sewing needle, the yarn or darning needle, and the crochet hook. We ask that you please return at the desk on the second floor. You'll see here's the thread, and inside this little envelope are beads to decorate the tree. I've included 9 beads in the kit. I only used like 5 on my tree on the sample. You may want to add sentimental buttons from a relative's button box or favorite shirt. That way you have a reminder of your loved one that you can wear or hang on your tree each year. So I'm going to set all that aside. Let me put everything back into this kit and we will get started. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your green yarn and we're going to make a slip knot. You're going to hold the yarn across the palm of your hand or across your fingers, and you're going to flip the yarn around the top two, and see it makes like a little X, but you can reach in through this loop and see you're going to grab the yarn from the ball and pull it up, and that will create a slip knot. And then you're going to put that slip knot onto the needle, just like that. And the very first thing that we're going to do, according to our instructions, is we are going to make the slip knot and chain 9. So to do a chain stitch, that's just you grab the yarn and you pull it through the loop. Simple as that. 1 chain made. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and then row 2, we're going to work, right here is where we're at. Work a single crochet into each chain stitch to the end for a total of 8 single crochet stitches. Then we're going to chain 1 and turn the work. So now when you're working into your first row, you can see it's very thin, so it's very floppy. But this is the side that we're going to work into. Do you see it looks like a braid? So you're going to skip this first one because this loop comes out of it, okay? So we're going into the second chain from the hook, and you go underneath both of these strands of yarn that form what looks like a braid. And let me see here. Once you go through those, you'll see on the back, there's like a little back bump. See, I split the yarn. Let me fix that. So there's a little back bump, and I'm through the 2 strands of yarn that made up that V of the braid. Okay, so we have the loop on the hook, and we have the stitch that we just went through, and you grab your yarn and you pull it through the stitch. And then you grab the yarn again and you pull it through both loops on the needle, and that makes a single crochet. So let's try that again. And like I said, going through this first row, it can be flappy, okay? So you can see I'm having trouble going into this next stitch, right? So I can push it up on my fingers there, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn again, pull through. So if you have trouble, don't forget, use your fingers to push it up. You don't have to use the hook to push through, you can use your fingers to push the stitch onto the hook, especially on this first row. So push the yarn through, grab that second strand, push it over. Okay. Everybody finds the first row challenging. Okay. And you can see it's starting to form. And then one more right here in this very last one, and then we are to our knot. Okay, and then we're going to do like the instructions say, chain 1, turn the work. So that's where we're going to take the yarn over the hook and just pull it through, and that's chaining 1, and then you turn so we can go back across here. And now we're on to row 2, where we were going to work 7 single crochets across the chain, and then you chain 1 and turn. Then row 3 is we're going to work six single crochets. So each row we decrease the number of single crochets that we do across the row, and that is what makes the wedge, is the Christmas tree. So you skip, let me take this out here so you can see better. Do you see how like that chain where we turned, it looks like it comes from this first stitch. So that's why we skip this first little dimple right there, and we go into the second one. Okay, and we're going to work that single crochet. We're going to go into this next little dimple, work a single crochet, and so forth until you have worked the 7 across the row. Okay, and then you're going to just chain 1 and turn and repeat. Go back across, working 1 less single crochet stitch on each row. Oops, see my tail flipped up. Pull that tail right out. Okay. And we're going to chain 1, turn, work across again, chain 1, turn, skipping the first, and don't worry, everything is written out for you, and we're making the video so you can follow along. And you can always come up and ask for help at the library or at the Yarn Works. So now we're at the last one, chain 1, ta-da, Christmas tree, just that fast. So now you're gonna snip the yarn. If you're going to do, I should probably say this, for the ornament, for the brooch, you cut the yarn, pull the yarn tail through the loop on the hook. For the ornament, you chain 20 stitches. So right here we would chain 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then you go right back down here to the base and you'll go through. Oops, I've got the yarn on the wrong side. Hold on. Okay. So we go through, grab your yarn, pull it through the top of the tree and pull it through the loop on the hook. Okay. And then you'll cut your yarn. Okay. And we'll pull it all the way through. And then we're going to use the yarn needle to sew this down to the top of the tree. Let me get a yarn needle out of our bag here. And if we were making the pin, we would have just cut the yarn and pulled it through that last loop at the very top of the tree. So once you've made the top of the tree, okay, you're gonna take, and you see right here we've got this other little nubbin, right, from the other end of the tree, so from the other end of the loop, I mean. So you can just fasten that nubbin to the back of the tree here by going through the back of one of the tree stitches and going through the little nubbin. Okay, and that'll help keep it to the back side. Okay, and it'll keep the top of your tree looking neat and a little more pointy. Okay, so you can just darn this end in really good. All right, and we can go down through that knot and you can weave it through some of the stitches here on the back of the tree. And let me turn it over. Okay, and you'll see how nice and neat the front of the tree looks. Okay, and then you cut off your yarn end. Okay, and you do the same thing with your other yarn tail. Okay, you're going to weave it in and out through some of the stitches here. Okay, weave it back the other direction through some of the stitches. Okay, all right, doesn't have to be perfect. I always like to give it a little bit of a tug. All right, helps bury the yarn into the stitches. Cut off your little nubbin. Okay, so there's the top part of the tree all done. And we move on to the base. The base begins the same way. Oh, let me turn over the instruction sheet so you can see on the back. It says with the brown yarn, we're going to make a slip knot just like we did at the beginning, where we hold the tail, make the X, reach through here, grab that yarn, pull it through, okay? Fasten it on, and we're going to begin by chaining 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we do like we did before, where we skip that first one, because you can see our chain comes out of that first one. Maybe harder to see it in the dark brown yarn. We skip that first one, we go through the second one here. And the stump of the tree, or base of the tree, is very fast. So there's one single crochet. We're going to work another single crochet in the next one. Okay, And get it in there. Come on. Okay. Okay. Chain 1. Okay. Skip the first one. Okay. Work again. Work again. Okay, work another one. Pull through 2. Okay. Cut your yarn. Pull it through. Okay. And so we've got the little tree base, and you're going to use your tail. You're going to pick which side you like better, okay? And you're going to attach it. You move the instruction sheet there. So you're going to sew it to the bottom of the tree, right in the center, using the yarn needle that's included in the kit, okay? And you just pick whichever side you like that you want to fasten it to it, okay? And this is the back side, because this is where we sewed down the chain. So we want to work by fastening it into the back side. So I'm going to go through some stitches here on the back. Okay, I'm going to go through the tree, go through the base stitch, again through the tree. Okay, through a stitch here on the base. All right, and you just whip stitch it down. Okay, and so now to make sure it's really fastened, I'm going to do a little knot. Normally we do not like to do knots in our work, but I'm going to do it this time because this is not something somebody's going to wear. They're not going to feel the knot, and we want to be sure that this is really fastened down. Be very sad if we lost our stump. So now I'm going to weave in, oops, I pulled it right on out. Let me rethread that. So we're going to weave it back in. Okay. And we're going to cut the end. Okay. We're going to weave this end in. And the great thing about crochet is it's very kind of structural. That's why, have you seen the cute little stuffed animals and things people make? All right, just give your work a little tug to bury the ends in. You see there's the base of the tree. And this is where you're going to get to decorate it. Here's the pin back. If you were not making the ornament, you would sew the pin back onto the back of the tree. Okay. Here's the little envelope. It's going to have a needle and thread. Beads are inside here that you can use to decorate your tree. Okay. Again, we'll have a star button or bead that's going to be included for the top of your tree as well. Or you can use vintage or antique buttons that have some meaning to you to decorate the front of your tree. And you can hang it on your Christmas tree, or you can wear it as a brooch with that pin back on the back of it. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoy this craft very much, and this make and take, or take and make. If you would like to see more crafts like this, or have ideas that you would like to share with us, please send your suggestions to ref@cdpl.lib.in.us, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you, and happy crocheting!